People have many different views and opinions about social, political, or religious issues. However, when individuals or groups adopt a view that the use of violence and terrorism is justifiable for reaching their political, ideological, or religious goals, we talk about violent extremism. Violent extremist groups can vary in their ideology. For example, there are violent far-right, violent left-wing groups, and Islamist group. What they all have in common is that they agree that using violent means to reach their group's goals is justifiable. Why do people become violent extremists? No one is born as a violent extremist. It is the result of complex psychological and social processes that is called radicalization. When individuals radicalize, they find a violent extremist group or the ideas they promote appealing. Oftentimes, these destructive environments offer a sense of meaning, belonging, or feeling of control over one's life. Who is vulnerable to radicalization? There are a number of factors that can influence why people decide to join violent extremist groups. Some people have experienced failures or have lost their goals or sense of purpose in life. Others might have experiences of injustice, or they believe that their group has been treated unfairly. Others might have experienced being bullied, discriminated, or humiliated. Other times, political propaganda make people fear other people or groups and develop anger towards them. Political leaders can spread messages to create fear, anger, and disrespect towards certain social groups, such as refugees, immigrants, or people of certain religion or ethnicity. How do people become radicalized? Extremist groups have various strategies to recruit new members, both online and offline. They target vulnerable young people and adults and groom them to join the group. At first, they create close personal relationships, making the new participant feel important, special, and part of a community. Later, they introduce the violent ideology, talking about who the enemies are and how the use of violence is justifiable against them. This can also happen in online platforms, such as social media, chat forums, or in gaming communities. It is also possible that people self-radicalize. Sometimes, when people feel angry, disappointed, isolated, or have experienced real or perceived injustices, they can start to seek and consume violent propaganda. How can we become more resilient towards radicalization? To be resilient in the face of radicalization, we need to cultivate critical thinking, understand and deconstruct propaganda messages, and strengthen our tolerance for uncertainty. It is also important to improve our emotional well-being, conflict management skills, and foster a positive sense of belonging to a wider community and to humanity. Think twice before you believe someone who tries to convince you of a black and white version of reality. Our world is complex and cannot be reduced to a simple dichotomy. Be critical if you hear messages that try to create anger or fear in you, or that promote intolerance and violence against others. Our world is far from perfect, but hatred and violence are never the answer.